Okay, and welcome to season 1, episode 8 of Music and Film with Luana. And right next to me is
Luana. Hello, guys.
Hope you guys had a great week, and we are back. I mean, the last episode was pretty depressing, but needed. I'm pretty sure this episode is going to be a bit depressing because the topic is...
It's about how to cure depression.
So how to cure depression. Okay, all right.
So, yeah, if you feel depressed, meet a friend, meet a good friend, and talk about your anxiety and your fears. And what helps is also write down your thoughts, and it can also turn into a song or a theater play or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can use this creativity. You can use your depression to actually create art.
Exactly. Like we talked about last week about
Yes.
turning your negative like into a creative outlet.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it always heals.
Yeah.
So, and you unblock your mind if you see what your mind is telling you. Sometimes it's telling you something wrong, and then you say, okay, why do I have those thoughts? And
Yeah.
it's not true, and it's not as bad as I see it right now. So, and yeah, and also nowadays, due to social media, we tend to compare ourselves with others.
That is so true.
Also number games. Oh, she is so pretty on Instagram. She has better pictures.
Exactly.
And you disempower yourself by doing this, and you say, oh, I will never make it because I just have 500 followers, and she has 5,000 or 5 million or whatever. And yeah, so get rid of this and just focus on yourself and your career and your talent. And it's toxic if you compare yourself with others. So because you have your own pace, you have your own path, and you're totally different.
Yeah.
And your background is different. It doesn't, if you say, okay, I want to be like Lady Gaga, I want to be famous at the age of 20. She became famous around 25 or 26 with Just Dance. And if you say...
That was her first major hit?
Just Dance. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
And if you say, okay, then you just... okay, and when you say, okay, I turn next year 25 and I have to be as famous as Lady Gaga, it won't happen, because you're under other circumstances and you just put too much pressure on yourself. True. You have to really grow, and also it's like a personal development. Before you become famous, you have to be really confident.
I was going to say it's great to set goals, but set personal goals, not comparison goals.
Yes, personal goals, and also how do you say, goals you can achieve.
Realistic goals. Okay.
Yes, right. And always surround yourself with like-minded and positive people. You can all grow together. You can support each other. You can collaborate. And it's also good to have mentors who are like a few years above you and already established in the industry. So they are willing to take you under their wing and teach you, and and there's a huge difference between people who dream their dream and people who are living their dream. So like for instance, dancers who are willing to volunteer and do everything for free just for exposure, and then dancers who actually like last week I worked for Nike, and the dancers, they made $2,000 each for the show.
Oh wow.
So,
well, I mean, that's Nike.
Yeah, it's a huge brand, but I mean...
Exactly.
I mean, there's a difference between a $100 gig and you're already like dancing like 10 or 20 years your entire life, and you spend so much money in dancing classes and all the costumes,
Yeah.
and then $2,000 gig. Also, you have to know, okay, how much worth am I, and also it's like respect for you. Have you respect for yourself, for your art, for your craft.
Know your personal worth.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And then
Wait, just to go back. So what was this thing with Nike? They were dancing
with Nike.
for.
Yes, it was like a Nike fashion show.
Okay.
So there were models, athletes, and dancers. It was a huge corporate event.
Oh, gotcha.
Hmm.
Nice.
And always ask for advice, and it doesn't make you weak. It helps you to grow.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Never be too afraid to ask for advice.
yes.
Yeah. And never be too proud, is what I meant to say.
Right.
Yeah, never
Right.
be too proud.
You have to learn to open yourself. That's also to be authentic. You have to learn this. You have to, as an artist, you have to learn to be vulnerable.
Hmm.
That's also, people love artists who are really open, and so if you're closing yourself and you cannot really, you don't have access to your audience.
True.
And you cannot connect with them. And look for role models who are successful but also have a healthy lifestyle. And yeah.
In your opinion, what's the difference between a mentor and a role model?
Okay, a mentor is like a teacher, and you usually have like more a closer connection, and a role model is like, or a muse is like, for example, Madonna was inspired by Marilyn Monroe, Marlene Dietrich, and you usually don't meet your role model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an artistic inspiration. Yeah.
Like I
That's
say,
it.
don't meet your heroes. You ever heard that saying?
I heard this because you expect him to be this way, but once you meet him in person,
yeah,
you're like, oh shit,
exactly.
who is this?
Exactly. The image is completely ruined.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, don't meet your heroes. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly why.
Uh-huh.
That's funny. Yeah, don't meet your heroes.
It's funny, yeah. Yeah, and my role model is Madonna, and she's been in the entertainment industry for over 4 decades.
Damn.
And
How old is she?
she's 61 now,
Okay, that
and
makes
she's
sense.
still touring. And all of her peers who started out with her, like Prince, Michael Jackson, passed away.
Yeah.
And I like her because she is really determined.
I mean, yeah, she's 61 and she's still doing it. So.
She's still doing it, and she's really healthy. She follows a strict diet, and yeah.
That's what you call dedication.
Dedication, and she's always reinventing herself. Every record is totally different.
Yeah. Her most recent album was, you said, Madam X?
Madam X, and she was inspired by Lisbon, Marrakesh, Cape Verde.
Yeah.
She also hired musicians from Lisbon, Agora, Cape Verde, and yeah.
Nice.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also she gives back. She has a foundation called Raising Malawi and Ray of Light, and she helps building schools in Malawi and schools in Pakistan, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And she's never afraid to give people a voice who don't have a voice, and to break rules, for the better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall she's like a pretty phenomenal person.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, not just her musical accomplishments, but everything else outside of that, I think is just pretty cool.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
She's brave.
Yeah.
Really brave. And so here's some exercises how to get into a better state.
Better mind state.
Yes. So when you're in your lower self, you can ask yourself empowering questions and answer them with a big yes. For example, do I have the talent to be in the entertainment industry? Yes, I do.
What if the answer is no? What if you end up telling yourself no? It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But you said you have to say yes.
Yes, it's like a empowering question.
Yeah.
And am I capable? Yes, I am. Am I determined? Yes. And do I want to share my talent with the world? Yes.
Okay.
There's a difference between like if you say, do I want to be, or I am. If you say I am talented, it's different than if you say, for example, do I have the talent to be in the industry? That's a huge difference.
That's true, because I am talented is a statement.
It's a statement, yeah.
And the other one is a question. Okay. And you're saying you should ask yourself questions.
Yeah.
Why would you avoid statements?
Because statements, they're like, I made this, I practiced this exercise, so I felt different when I just said it's a statement. I am a good singer. It's like, yeah, but I'm not like Madonna, for example. Like you have those.
Comparing yourself.
Yeah, you're comparing yourself right away. I'm not making millions.
Yeah.
Your mind is totally different. And then when I say, am I a talent? No.
Do I have?
Do I have the talent to be a great singer, or do I have? Am I capable to be a great singer? And then okay, yes, because I studied music, I can sing in different languages. Then you totally you think differently.
And then you just like give yourself like supporting arguments.
Right.
Like you'd answer yes, and then you'll support it with. Okay.
And then you think of what others cannot do. I am an outstanding dancer because I dance different styles, for example.
What makes you unique is...
What makes you unique in your art, because a dancer, there's tons of dancers and singers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So just find what makes you unique, and then,
Right. And I found this film mentorship program called Trends in Film, taught by Janet Urban. She's a sound mixer in Los Angeles, and she's teaching us all this empowering questions, how to shift your mind. And also it helped me tremendously to overcome depression, fear, anxiety, and self-doubts. So I really had to practice this every single day. Especially when you're from another country and you move to the States, and you're all by yourself, you have to figure out certain things, and and you have a lack of information, and it makes you anxious, and so I practice this, and
It's pretty good.
So, and also we have weekly conference calls, and we can ask questions, we can give advice to each other, and we have a Yammer group, and we also...
A what group?
Yammer group.
Okay.
Yammer. And we motivate each other, we share our success stories, and then we make comments, and it's great to see others succeed.
It's like a support group.
Yes, and it convinces you to keep going to work hard on yourself.
Absolutely.
Because when you see, oh, okay, if she can do this, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And you're not alone. You going this way together. We're all from different backgrounds, from different countries, and we're doing this mentorship program all together. And we also have meetups in New York and Toronto, London.
Oh, nice. I mean, technically, you just compared yourself to someone because you're saying if she can do it, I can do it too. But I think it's slightly different. because it's a realistic comparison.
It's a realistic.
You know that person.
Yes.
And you guys are pretty much on the same career level wise.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like you comparing yourself to like Lady Gaga or
Yeah,
Madonna.
Exactly. That's a huge difference. Yeah.
Because it's going from here to here.
Yes.
Instead of here to same level.
Same kind of same level, because we all started at the same level.
Exactly.
We didn't go to film school. That's what the film mentorship program is about.
Okay.
Learning everything from scratch and just pitching yourself over the phone or reaching out to get on shoot methods.
Oh wow.
Working on set
and this is still going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, give the people a bit more information on that. Just in case.
It's called Friends in Film. You find it on Instagram, YouTube. You can go to the website www.friendsinfilm.com. And Janet Urban, she won an Emmy Award for National Geographic. And
wait, is that the lady on your Instagram?
Yes.
Oh, she's Janet. Okay.
Yes.
And that's her thing.
Yes, she founded this mentorship program, and she's teaching us her methods, how she got into the industry 22 years ago.
Oh wow!
And she's
still in the industry.
Yes, she's full-time working and
cool.
mentoring us, and she is amazing.
Nice.
And I met her last year in Los Angeles in her mansion.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And the mind can be very moody, and it can change, like sometimes what we call bipolar. Bipolar.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, am I bipolar? Because I from one second to another second I'm in another mood, and I mean I think a lot of artists have this. But it doesn't mean that you're bipolar. Right?
True.
And your mind tells you sometimes things that aren't true. And for example, your mind tells you you are not good enough, you'll never make it into the industry, and entertainment is just a hobby, you won't make a living. And
do you think that's also due to insecurities?
Yes, and society.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I wasn't born in the entertainment industry. I was born in a regular family, and nobody works in the entertainment industry. Yeah. And I'm actually the only one who is in the entertainment industry. So it's helpful to just separate from your family, to move to another country also.
Exactly, alone.
Personal development, and you're just creating the person you want to be, and you have to be to be capable and to be in the industry.
Absolutely.
And and then also another thing is when your mind tells you all the A-list people were born rich and already had industry connections,
which is not really true.
No, not all of them. So like Lady Gaga, when I read her story, how she started out, Madonna really poor in New York, and she almost gave up, and she was basically homeless. Damn. And she ate popcorn to save money. Cyndi Lauper, who was homeless at the age of 17.
Wait, who?
Cyndi Lauper, she grew up in Astoria, Queens, and then she escaped from home at the age of 17. She worked in second-hand shops, and she was so poor, and she ate a squirrel.
Damn.
I read her biography, memoirs.
Did she cook it first?
Yeah, she of course she cooked it. Yeah, and she had to fight to get signed to a label.
Yeah.
And she already was successful with her hits, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun and True Colors, and even herself, she was struggling.
So she was eating squirrels after she became successful? Like after she had the hits, or before?
I mean, she was really... There was...
because...
She switched from music industry to film industry to make some money, but she was not really successful as an actress. And then she returned to the music industry again.
Okay.
And yeah, that's in her biography that she was so poor and she couldn't
that's
buy meat, and
well, clearly you can't buy meat if you're eating squirrels. You can't buy meat. Like no one's like, oh, I'm just gonna eat the squirrel. No, that's wow. Why a squirrel?
I don't know. That's interesting, huh?
No. How do you catch a squirrel to eat?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I met her in person as well in 2018.
Did you ask her about the squirrel?
No.
You probably should have asked her about the squirrel.
It's
like, I read your biography and I heard you like add a squirrel or something. You want to talk about that? That's interesting.
Yeah, and then also, if you listen to these thoughts, you're disempowering yourself and you start believing in this. That's the thing. You're like
manifest.
Yeah, you're manifesting this, and also society tells you the same, and it's really hard to get outside this circle, this tornado of thoughts, negative thoughts.
Exactly. Especially if you don't have a strong support system.
Yes, exactly.
Like if you're just alone, then.
If you're not surrounded by industry people, then how can you? It's hard to be. There's the other side. And I'm not talking about all A-list, all famous artists. I'm talking about working actors.
Oh, okay.
Who are not like famous,
people that could bring you to reality.
Kind of who make a full-time living in the industry, and who have agents and And if you don't have those relationships, it's hard to believe, okay, I can actually make a living in the industry. True. Yeah, then that's why it's so important to have a go-getter group, and when you're witnessing that they succeed, you believe, okay, I can succeed as well if they can do it. Mm-hmm. And I can break into the industry by doing what other people wouldn't do. And
wait, like what?
So, for example, you go the traditional way, you're auditioning, you have your waitressing job or whatever, bartending. You cannot really build connections with casting directors, producers, directors. You just have this 1 minute or even less sometimes, and they just see you in the room. But if you work non-stop on set in production assistant, everybody needs a production assistant. And they're diverse. You can work like for Nike, as I did last week, corporate events, fashion.
How did you get that gig?
So it's that listing was on Facebook. There are different Facebook groups.
Okay.
And I just sent my resume to the production coordinator, and then she introduced me to her producers. They're both the production companies based in Los Angeles. And then they called me. It was like a job interview.
Oh, wow.
And so I pitched myself over the phone. They didn't know me at all. They just saw my resume. And also the fact that I worked for New York Fashion Week in 2018 as a wardrobe assistant helped me as well. And I mean, you just have to learn to pitch yourself. To represent yourself, like become your own agent. And and then they hired me for this event.
Nice.
Which was really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So do you have like a name of one of these Facebook groups for people who are thinking about? Yeah,
there are a bunch of them, like New York filmmakers. I need a production assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out, guys.
And I learned these techniques, how to reach out from Janet, everything. Also, how to build your resume and stuff like that.
Does she have a podcast?
She doesn't have a podcast, but you can go on YouTube and she has some videos, free content, and then if you want, you can do the mentorship program.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long you been doing that program?
So I came across this program 2 weeks after I moved to New York. That was in May 2018. And then the mentorship program is 10 months. And then after this, you can decide if you want to stay in this program. just to be in touch with other A-listers. And because after those 10 months you might have bigger questions, like some of my fellows have now an agent or a manager, and then we discuss what's the difference between agent and manager. And we discuss all the contracts and stuff like this, so you keep learning. And yeah,
it's pretty cool.
And also we have Janet, she does like Friends in Film summer parties in her house.
Oh, nice. But that's all the way in LA.
It's in LA,
That sounds pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's great
Nice.
to have this community. And yeah, so what else? Okay, we have this go-getter group. And then when you see other people succeed, you are ready to take massive action.
Yeah.
You change your nutrition, because it's all body, mind, and soul. It's everything is connected. Body, soul, mind, soul, language. And you break old habits. It's, for example, you quit smoking, you quit drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
You read more, you work out more. Like every morning, yoga 10 or 20 minutes when you wake up. You drink tea and.
You do that? You do yoga?
I do yoga. I do dancing and stretching, and and then when you do this, you don't have time for self-doubts and depression and anxiety.
That's true, because you're blocking.
You get rid of this,
exactly.
And you change your vocabulary. I can name some examples. You usually tend to say, I struggle, I never make it happen. And then you switch it to, I hustle, I'm a hustler.
Nice.
And I make it work. And for example, if you say, no problem, people may think you have a problem, even if you say no problem. And then you turn it into all good. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It sounds way better than no problem. All good.
All good.
And then when you say I'm starving artist, you turn it into I'm thriving. I'm a thriving artist. And I'm worrying. You turn it into I'm solving problems.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. It's like the simple things, small things,
like a simple
with
word
a huge
change, but I can see how it actually would affect your mind state.
Yes, and your body
I'm
and
a
your.
starving artist. No, I'm a thriving artist.
A thriving artist, right?
I'm worried. No, I'm problem solving. Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Okay, then there's another one. Don't let fear of failure, fear of uncertainty, and fear of loss stop you and to achieve your goals.
Absolutely.
For example, your head is full of self-doubts and you're leaving your comfort zone to create the life that you want to have.
Yes.
And that you deserve. And family and society tell you that you're insane, you won't make it happen, and that you will fail. So you have to prove them that they are wrong, and therefore you have a lot of pressure. And you gotta know that you'll be successful, and you have to keep the faith.
Absolutely.
And then with the second one, you are uncertain that you will be successful in the entertainment industry, and since it's very competitive, and only a few % can make a good living, and it's a cliche, because once you're inside, you know, okay, I'm really impressed how much money you can make as a production assistant. It's a simple job. And the day rate is $250, and sometimes it's you're only there for 4 hours.
But sometimes they're there for like 12 hours.
Yeah, it really depends, but still, it's a lot of money. I mean, and also it's not only about the money; it's about the connections you make. You meet celebrities. I work together with Paris Hilton. I work together with Julia Stiles.
Oh wow! Okay.
Who's they're starring in Hustlers with J-Lo. And
yeah, she was the reporter or the journalist.
Yes, right. And I met German athlete Markus Riem, who lost his leg at the age of 14. And yeah, it's very impressive. And networking. So it's like you're getting paid to network. That's how I see it.
See? Yeah. Once again, turning something that, okay, I'm on set for 12 hours, which is exhausting, but I'm getting paid to network.
You're getting paid to network. And also there's a huge difference, like PAs who just want to be on set.
Exactly.
Who just
so they could get selfies.
Dropped out from film school with just little experience or no experience, actually, because it's all about theory in film school. You don't actually learn how to behave on set. And then there's another PA who sees, okay, how can I help out? What can I do? Okay, I see that might be a problem. For example, if the light is too close to the camera or something, or the actress is too close to the camera, and something can happen, and then you can give advice to the director or assistant director.
Yeah.
And
so you're more of a proactive problem solver.
Right. Because you didn't go to film school, you just learned it by doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning
Which
on set.
I think is a lot more important, because you're gaining knowledge based on experience.
Right.
You know, not just based on what you read in a textbook. So yeah.
Right. And you save a lot of money.
That's true. That's definitely true. Yep.
So there's no need, and film people, they don't pay attention, so they don't ask for it.
Exactly, like where'd you go to film school?
No.
That's true. Yeah. Never heard of that. Like,
I mean, you can take some workshops if you want to specialize in sound.
Exactly.
Then it's advisable to do some workshops about sound and how to do this, and then you still go on set and learn it also on set.
Exactly.
But
and also, in regards to sound, if you want to specialize in sound, I don't think you'd go to film school. You go to like music school or a sound design school.
Sound design school.
Exactly.
Yes. Right.
If for film school, it's more like for directing and screenwriting.
Yeah,
I don't even think you should go to film school if you want to be a producer.
No.
You go to business school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
and acting.
Most likely, the teachers at film school, they have never been really in the industry. They just graduated from film school, and then the school asked them to
stay.
To
exactly.
teach.
So they don't really have any real world experience.
No, not really.
And they're going to teach you real world.
Or maybe they just worked a little bit on set, but they never worked enough to actually make a living, and then they decided to teach.
Exactly. So you're basically someone who didn't make it or someone who failed coming back to teach.
And you don't want to learn from these people. You want to learn from
people.
A-list people
exactly.
who make tons of money in film.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Like Janet. Again.
Exactly.
And then the last thing is you're financially unstable, and this makes you anxious.
True.
And you're afraid to lose everything.
Yeah.
And then just be resourceful, cut expenses, and you'll be surprised how much you can achieve with little resources.
Yeah.
And you just conserve your money as much as possible, and you spend it wisely on things that serve your career.
Yeah, just be fiscally responsible. You know?
Yeah.
Because especially in an industry like the entertainment industry, it's not steady paychecks. You know, it's like you'll get a paycheck today and you don't get another one for like 2 weeks or
right.
Yeah. It's not like a regular 9-to-5 job where you earn a salary. So,
but still, as a freelancer, you can make more money than
absolutely
somebody who works full time 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And sometimes you make 2,000, 3,000 a day.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Some people they can survive with 3,000 a month. It depends on your living expenses.
Yeah.
So if you live like a student in a small apartment with roommates, and you're
you
good
should
for the
definitely
month.
survive on $3,000. Yeah.
Right.
And plus, you'll have plenty of money to save and invest.
And you have a lot of time. you have days off and you can work
Yeah.
on your own project.
There you go. Yeah.
Which is amazing.
True.
And yeah.
So yeah. Any other points?
I had a point. I had something to say.
All right. So while you're thinking about that, so overall, healthy mind states can help you help you if you're depressed or face a depression.
Mm-hmm.
And having a strong support team is
Yes.
always good. Always good. And try to remain positive. Like you said, turn a negative into positive.
Exactly, yeah.
Instead of saying I can't, just say I will, or
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. The right language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The right language.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice that though. Instead of saying no problem, someone would assume a problem. It's pretty interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like actually it's really true because when I was uncertain and I was like, okay, I made this mistake, I'm sorry, and then this person said, oh, no problem, and then I was like, maybe she has a problem with something. It's crazy how the mind.
Yeah, I never thought
Yes,
about
it-
that because it's just such a common term. It's like, hey, thank you, no problem, or don't sweat it or something.
Yeah.
I never looked at it like
It's all
what the
good.
person might see it as a problem. So
Uh-huh.
instead, you should say like all good or
All
you're
good.
welcome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's more inviting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Mhm.
true. It's so interesting.
Nice.
Small words. Yeah.
True.
Mhm.
So, plug your Instagram,
Yeah, my Instagram is luanasandova.official.
and we will see you guys next week.
Next week.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
It's on my mind, yeah. Now it's a vibe, yeah. Back to the vision, stone cold. I'm tripping through your soul. I'm falling through the holes in your heart. Now we all living in the base, keep bumping, but I just can't seem to shake it off. Oh no, can't stop thinking about you. Pretty face and the body with them tattoos. When I'm chilling with you, you make me feel brand new. Am I tripping or am I in the know?